What's up, everybody? Boston John here. First of all, cheers to the Pats. Good win today. Good win against the Rams. I'll give my sports thoughts about that scrimmage another time. But when I was, and I talked to the two bartenders, first of all, and I'm not going to give you their names. They know who they are. This is not a bad thing. But they conjugate a little bit. So this is just a general thing anyway. But I got the okay. So when they hear the joke, when they hear the video, if they watch the video, they know it's not. I'm not targeting them for any particular reason. This is just a joke of it. I said this is comedy. Okay, folks, this is just comedy. All right, so I'm sitting at the bar, right? I'm at the bar, I'm hanging out. I'm watching the Pats on the TV, and I'm betting some horses. And I'm right next to the machines where they they go over there. They have to go over there. It's like the in-out door. They have to adjust the music and shit over there, So the two chicks that are working, they're over there. And they're kind of, I can see like there's something in their eye. It's just like, Now, first of all, never jump into a woman's conversation. Ever. Especially when they're working. That's just a stupid fucking move. And if you ever do that, you're an idiot. You deserve to be shot in the foot. All right? you should have to hobble for a couple of days. Like, fuck, this sucks. Just a 22, nothing, not like the bang. Just show pea shoot. Anyway, so back to it. So a few minutes go by. So I order my next drink. She comes over and I say, "So let me ask you, what were you guys just talking about over there?" And she tells me. I'm like, all right, cool. So then I'm reflecting back to a job I had when I was working. I was doing office work, and there's a water cooler, literally a water cooler, like the shit with the Deer Park that goes upside down to the machine. You got the blue and the red and yada yada. So much. So they remind me of this story. So which the punchline's coming. Don't worry. So. We'll get to it, motherfucker. All right, so it reminds me of this chick, Teresa, and this is years ago. Her name's Teresa, and I worked with her, and she was one of the gossip queens of the fucking joint. Everybody fucking hated her, but you had to be nice to her because you knew that this bitch was like selling secrets to the boss. You know what I mean? Like if you have a cigarette when you're not supposed to, she'll fucking tell him. She was one of those bitches, right? Those fucking and there was a dude that what was his name? Curtis. His name was Curtis. Now this is in Roanoke, Virginia. Nobody even fucking knows anyway. But I had Curtis, and he was fucking. So he was like the male version. So you had Teresa and Curtis, right? They're doing their thing. Like you get caught smoking a cigarette, like you're out there just like get a couple drags real quick. And this is before cell phones. So it's not even the cell phone breaks. It's just having a cigarette. But you remember you used to put it on the bottom of your shoe. You know what I mean? And like put it back into the pack. Now you don't put it back into the pack anymore. It's like fuck it, But anyway. So all that being said, so Teresa and Curtis, these bad, they're fucking just horrible people. Because they're sellouts. They're fucking rats in the office, So they're bitching about their jobs, right? So I hear Teresa one day. And it's a bunch of chicks in the coffee room. And I'm not going to name the company, but it was an Innsbruck deal. But they're in the coffee room, and they're just bullshitting, right? The one of men bullshit. We usually talk shit about the women, But the chicks are in there, they're saying, "Oh, can you believe this? Can you believe that? This fucking microwave, they're so cheap. My man, I don't understand why they didn't have a car. I don't understand why they have a license. And they just, and I don't get it." She's like, "Girl, I know." And this, that, and the other. And there's always like the shy chick who's like the newer one. They always invite her in. And they get her in there. "Oh, what you want in your coffee, girl? Oh, we got vanilla, we got caramel." And they get her straight. And then eventually they share their stories, and then she spills her fucking beans. Next thing you know, you got a horde of these just mad women because they hate their job, they hate their man, they hate not being at home, right? Isn't this what you wanted? I mean, let's talk about this for a second. Ladies, you wanted... Now, I'm not talking about equal pay. Equal pay is a whole different ballgame. I will compliment you on that one. Let me do it right now. As far as equal pay goes, here's my take. If you do the job, you deserve the money. That's it. If you do the job, you deserve the money. But when you're doing the job, whether you're underpaid or not, you don't get to bitch about the job and, "Oh, I don't like this, I don't like this." Well, you know what? When I hear all that bitching and moaning, and I hear all that shit going on, it's like, ladies, I love you to death, and you deserve. You know, you wanted to get out and get jobs and work jobs, and you deserve it, and you're doing really well at it. And the equal pay thing, well, it's getting there. It's getting there, and it deservedly so. But if it was going to be this much of a struggle for you, don't you think you should have just sat back and said, you know what? Now you got to be sitting there right now thinking, you know what? We should have just left this to the men. It was so much easier when they were working. We could stay at home and do our own nails. We decided that we were going to get together in groups and we were going to open up a nail salon. Then women can come out and spend their husband's money. And then we can open up a little boutique shop, which is pretty much the same as a fucking nail salon. We can open a little store. We can do this. We can do that. And then the women that weren't capable of doing all that, then they weren't capable, because women are capable of anything. Let's get that straight right now. They're capable of anything and everything. They are completely capable, and they are amazing. Because they're doing the same shit we do. If evolution speaks for itself, here in about another 50 to 100 years, we are going to be all humanoids at the same time. So it doesn't even fucking matter. But as far as it goes, no, women can do all that shit. But they're smart. They had to do it like underground style. So they got together and they figured, all right, well, boutique shop, that's how we start. That's how they sold us. I'm not saying us, because I'm not one of those old dumbass motherfuckers who thought I could do anything I wanted to. Oh, yeah, well, oh, here, honey, yeah, go open a boutique shop. Just a little more money for you. Did you really think that her best friend wanted to fuck you? Did you really think she wanted to fuck you, you idiot? Do you think that her cousin, her sister, her mother, her daughter, did you really think they wanted to fuck you? That's how they infiltrated the man system. Because a bunch of dumbass white men had nothing but dick and money. And there wasn't much dick, it was just money. Oh my goodness, and you wonder why shit's fucked up. Oh my goodness, they infiltrated the entire system, man. They really did, and it's amazing. I have to compliment it. Hey, hats off, ladies. I ain't mad at you. Shit, I ain't mad at you at all. Goddamn, well played. Fuck it. Cheers. Here's to you. Oh my goodness. They infiltrated the system. They killed the system. When you hear the terms, pussy rules everything, well, welcome to it. Now, don't be discouraged, because the first woman that ran for president, like in our modern time, there's been a few women who have had separate party tickets and whatever. If you do your history and your research, there have been other females before, other women before, but not like Hillary, not today's modern times, not against somebody like some people she ran against. And then there's multiple. She ran against all men. All men. I'm not saying like any particular individual. Get over yourself, Trumpers. Not any particular individual. All men. And then Jill Stein with the Green Party, but that was it. And Jill Stein, there was no, I mean, come on. As far as like major, publicity, whatever. It's not bad that Hillary lost. And it's actually pretty good that Donald Trump won. And here's my actual opinion and my take on it. For the people that have not seen or not paid attention to my previous Facebook post about Donald Trump saying, he is almost single-handedly exposing every little bit of bullshit you'd imagine that we already knew existed with our government and with our political process and electoral process. It's not that electoral college and yada yada. Yeah, we all have our things. Global warming, yada yada. ISIS and Muslims and Mexicans and a wall and whatever. All right. It wasn't hate mongering. It wasn't fear mongering. That was getting your popular vote. Imagine you're a professional football player, and you're, since I'm wearing the jersey, Tom Brady. If you're Tom Brady and you're really good at what you do, people want to see you do what you do. Otherwise, why the fuck are they watching? So when a guy like Donald Trump runs for president, and I'm not knocking it, this is a compliment, when you're really good at what you do, which he is, the evidence is there. He is amazing at what he does. I mean, come on. People want to see that. That's why he won. We want to see what he does next. He is definitely the Howard Stern version of the President of the United States. Had Howard Stern run back in like the fucking mid-late 90s, he might have had the same effect. And if Hugh Hefner would have run, that would have been interesting. That would have been really interesting. Had Hefner run, this country definitely would have gone to shit. No, but it would just been one big ass orgy with, anyway, like bombs. Anyway. All right, so hey, Sunday Boston, drunk as fuck, not drunk as fuck, you know, whatever, a little buzzed, little burn up, and the lady's not in the house right now. Yeah, so I'm gonna have a Newport as I'm coughing my fucking brain out. Nah, but seriously, dude, I'm not a Trump hater. I do that because that's just, you know, that's what you're supposed to do, you know, when you do what I do, as what you do. But fucking, it's hilarious though. When you think about it all, it's hilarious. I mean, women just, this is what you wanted, right? You wanted to run against the men. Sorry. This is what you want. You want to run against the men. You don't get to go cry and bitch and moan. No, you wanted to run against the men. This is what men do. Because at the end of the day, I don't give a fuck what race you are, what gender you are, what nationality, and I stress gender, because at the end of the day, we want a man as the fucking president. And you know what we had in America? We had a woman who we didn't trust, nobody trusted, there was no positive about her, except for fucking her narcissistic and arrogant fucking attitude. And who was out there? As much of a jackass as he is, as much of a fucking moron as he may sound, he was the epitome of a fucking man in this world, in this country. You know what? That's where the women vote went. They said, you know what? I'd prefer a man who's going to be, because I fucked men like that who had no fucking money, and I made him a fucking man. And I trust that over the chick who would suck my husband's dick to get a fucking vote. That's Boss and John's take. And I hope the Trumpers see that. And if you do, holler at me.